Hello again. I'm reading a little bit longer book. This one is called Dotty Inventions and some real ones too. It's written by Roger McGough, and it's illustrated by Holly Swain. This has been in the K-5 room before, but I don't know if everybody has seen it. It's a pretty cute book. "Door, Digby, door," called out Professor Dotty Dabble, up to her elbow in a spaghetti of electrical wiring. Digby scuttled up the wall and across the ceiling to collect the morning mail. Without bothering to open the envelopes, Digby x-rayed their contents. Telephone bill, gas bill, water bill, duck bill. Mad Inventors Monthly, an invitation to enter your best invention and win the holiday of a lifetime. "Where?" asked Dotty. "At the National Science Museum." "Humph! Doesn't sound like the holiday of a lifetime to me." "No, that's not the prize," said Digby. "That's where the competition is taking place." "Oh, in that case, Digby, I think we should enter. The only trouble is, which invention should we choose?" Can you tell who Digby is? Going upside down, and scanning the mail with its eyes. There she is. In wiring, they called it spaghetti of wiring. Digby listed some of Dotty's most famous gadgets. A chocolate cup, simply add hot water and drink before it melts. A mobile phone booth for shy mobile phone users. And he said, the mower glider, hand glide, and mow the lawn at the same time. Voice-activated socks. I'm over here! Centrally heated bird cages for budgies who like to be outside in winter. Nasal floss. The last word in nasal hygiene. Ooh, I don't know about that one. Thermal dentures. False teeth that keep the mouth warm. You know, I can think of some of you that would like to have that invention to find your socks. That chocolate cup sounds pretty cool, but I bet it would melt really fast. When he had finished, Digby looked at the pen in his hand. "Is this one of your inventions too, Professor?" he asked. "Probably," said Dotty in a mumbly sort of voice. Digby's mouse clicked on the ballpoint to see if the professor was correct. Laszlo Biro invented the first ballpoint pen in 1938. Biro was a Hungarian journalist who wanted to write with an ink that dried quickly and didn't smudge. Unfortunately, the newspaper ink that was most suitable was too thick to be used with a pen nib. Look at him getting ink all over himself. Because he didn't like it, he decided to invent something that would be better. So he made a pen with a tiny ball in its tip. There's feather, twig, drinking straw, plastic tubing, and a pea. Plastic tubing and a pea? Would you want to draw with a pea? It's very creative. "Hooray, I've invented the ballpoint pen. I think I'll call it after myself. Biro." As the pen moves along, the ball rotates, picking up ink from the cartridge and leaving it on the paper. If Laszlo's surname had been Whifflepoof, would we be using Whifflepoof pens? "Oh no, my pen has run out. I'll have to get a new Whifflepoof." That would be pretty funny. Those are all the different pens that he tried. Would you like to have a Whifflepoof pen? Digby and Dotty packed all the inventions into the Gizmobile and set off for the National Science Museum. "I wish the rain would stop," yelled Dotty above the rattle-tattle of the engine. "I can hardly see where I'm going." "Then why not switch on the wipers?" suggested Digby. "Good idea," said Dotty, but it didn't help. "Wouldn't they work better if they were on the outside of the car?" asked Digby. Dotty thought for a moment. Perhaps that's why my invention isn't working. Digby wondered who really invented the wiper and clicked the mouse. She put her windshield wipers on the inside of the car. That's not going to help. Look at all those umbrellas. There's dogs flying around. It's windy. Known as windscreen wipers in Britain, they are called windshield wipers in America, where they were invented by Mary Anderson in 1903. She saw that tram drivers had to open the windows of their cars when it rained in order to see where they were driving. So she invented a wiper that would clean rain, sleet, or snow from the windshield by using a handle inside the car. By 1916, all U.S. cars were sold with the wipers. Look at them sticking their head out to be able to see. It says new with wipers. It's different kinds that they tried. Wait a minute. Was that a block of cheese or a sponge? Probably a sponge, but that would be funny. I think I'll fly above the rain clouds, said Dotty. Hold on to your nuts and bolts, Digby. Here we go. The Gizmobill sprouted a pair of wings and took to the air. Soon they were flying in the clear blue sky, high above the clouds. Better put one of these on, just in case, said Dotty, cheerfully handing Digby a parachute. Is this one of your inventions, too? Asked Digby. More or less, replied Dotty, in a muttering sort of voice. Digby clicked on the parachute to check it out. A Frenchman called Louis Sebastian Lenormand could claim to be the first parachutist when in 1783 he bravely jumped from a tall tree holding an umbrella in each hand and drifted to the ground. 2 years later, encouraged by his success, he went up in a hot air balloon to test his homemade parachute, but not on himself. He attached the parachute to a small basket containing his pet dog and dropped it over the side. Happily for everyone, especially the dog, it landed safely. The first person to jump from a plane and survive was Lieutenant Harold Harris. He parachuted out of his plane during a training mission in 1922 and landed in a vineyard. That doesn't look very comfortable. Look, got a little bit stuck in the vines. I don't know about that dog being part of that experiment. I'm glad he landed safely. Have any of you ever been in a hot air balloon before? I haven't. It sounds pretty fun, though. I'm feeling peckish, said Dotty. Let's find the nearest cafe. Peckish is a word for hungry. As they flew lower, Digby suddenly spotted a UFO spinning alongside the Gizmobill. Look, Professor, a flying saucer. Dotty laughed. That's not a flying saucer, that's a frisbee. Of course, said Digby, feeling a little silly. Another of your inventions, was it? But the professor was concentrating hard on landing the Gizmobill, so Digby clicked the mouse on the frisbee. She's concentrating so she can land. The people on the ground look a little concerned about this plane coming down. The Frisbee Baking Company in Bridgeport, Connecticut in the USA sold pies to hungry college students. Students found out that the empty pie tins could be tossed and caught, so a new game was invented. I didn't know that. Did you know that? How many of you like to throw frisbees? I know we play with them sometimes out on the blacktop. In 1948, Walter Frederick Morrison invented a plastic version that could fly further and with greater accuracy than the tin plate. By 1955, his improved Pluto platter coincided with a growing interest in UFOs and flying saucers. This made him a millionaire. He made a lot of money. If I wasn't a vegetarian, said Dotty, I could eat a horse and come back for the jockey. I'm starving. She piled her plate high, but in a hurry to pay the cashier, she tripped over one of her laces. Cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, carrots, apple pie, and custard went flying through the air like a scrumptious rainbow. Digby asked why the professor didn't wear shoes that fastened with Velcro. Good idea, said Dotty cheerfully. Trust me not to use one of my best inventions. Digby had his doubts about this, so while Dotty tucked in, he clicked onto Velcro. Do you think Dotty invented Velcro? George D. Mestral, a Swiss inventor and keen mountaineer, got the idea for Velcro after he had taken his dog for a walk in the countryside. When the dog came home, its coat was covered with burrs, which are those little plant seed sacs that cling to fabric, and hairy dogs. George D. Mestral looked at the burrs under his microscope and saw that they had tiny hooks which latch onto soft material. He then set about making a fastener for clothing which used the same idea. He called it Velcro. Combination of the words velour and crochet. At first, everyone laughed at his invention, but now millions of yards of Velcro are sold every year. Raise your hand if you wear Velcro shoes, or you've worn them before. They make it very fast to put on your shoes. Then you get to learn how to tie laces. The National Science Museum was chock-a-block. People had traveled from all over the world to marvel, puzzle, and applaud the weird and wonderful inventions on display. There were pens that corrected your spelling as you wrote. That sounds pretty cool. Tables that could lay themselves. Umbrellas with built-in stereos. Walking sticks that could find their way home. Stringless yo-yos. I wonder how that works. Digital deck chairs that would fold and unfold at the touch of a button. Edible school scarves for those boring long queues at bus stops. Edible scarves? I don't know about that one. I think that pen that corrects your spelling would be my favorite one. If you help set the table, you might like that tablecloth that sets itself. That table that sets itself. Oh dear, said Dotty, I'm never going to win with my soppy collection of useless inventions. Never mind, said Digby. It's not the winning that's important, but the oodle, ardle, oodle. If you say so, said the professor. Just then the judges called for silence. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the competition for the best invention is... Well, who would have thought, said Dotty, enjoying her first giant banana split of the holiday, that I would win first prize for inventing you. Congratulations, said Digby. You've been around so long that I'd forgotten, said Dotty. Looking back, though, I remember how easy it was to invent you. A few old cans, some spare computer parts, and a roll of sticky tape. I just stuck them together and bingo! Digby didn't say anything. He just smiled and clicked on Digby. Did you all know that she had invented Digby? It's a pretty cool invention. A friend and a computer to help you learn things. Oh, it's a UFO full of cats coming to take Digby. That was a cool book. I thought you would like this book because while you're spending all this time at your house, you could make your own inventions with a creative mind and different things around your house. You could create anything that you want to. Use your imagination and make something up. You could give me a call or have your parents send me a picture or video of something that you create, and I would love to see it. It could be something really small, or it's something that you use lots of things to make. Boxes and tape, or straws, or paper, or cardboard tubes. Lots of things that you could use to put together to invent. And I would love to see some things that you make. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow and read some more books. Have a good night.